We dreamed of the day where this country's best ballers would be repping our hometown. This is the moment we've been waiting for.
A city that is diverse, that needs basketball in its life.
And we're the place you want to be, and this sport belongs in our city.
We aim to be more than basketball.
Two and 7 Sports at 11 will bring you highlights on the Halifax Windjammers when they tip off against our Calgary 88s in a Canada Day basketball event June 27.
You know, when I came here to Calgary, I came here to play with the Calgary 88s. Coming from Indiana, we have a picture where, you know, basketball is one of the top sports in the state.
Hangwood with a nice shot there.
Well, they played at the Calgary Saddle Dome, right? So, I mean, us as kids, I mean, we just figured, damn, we almost had an NBA team, right? And then growing up, it just faded away. No one talked about it until we had the Calgary Crush, which was the closest thing to having a professional team here in the city.
I thought it was overdue. I know with the 88s and the Outlaws, and then they had the Calgary Crush, that didn't last long, but there's a niche here.
I've seen them connect themselves to a lot of local businesses and a lot of local people to kind of build basketball through community, which I think is one of their goals. And every time I show up to the game, it's packed outside. You get inside, it's packed inside, and then the game itself, fast-paced, a lot of action. The target score system in the CEBL is amazing, right? Because there's tension, there's action-packed right to the end of the game, right?
And stepping to the line is Steph Smith.
Oh boy.
Pretty simple. Target 74. Calgary's got 73. Smith's got the game in his hand. Smith for the win. And that's going to do it. History made.
With an opportunity to win this game on this free throw. Shot is up, and he missed it. The rebound to Scotty, puts it up, and it will drop.
Amazing. The fan support is unreal. And then, yeah, the community's super engaged. Being able to go out and do a few things, you know, with the kids and, you know, community involvement that we can do is amazing because I think, you know, Calgary's really eating up, you know, a professional basketball team here. And, you know, we definitely are going to need that support moving forward. And I think they've done a great job, and we're really lucky to have that.
You look at all the opportunities that we have. So the opportunity to grow, you know, and that's something that we tell these kids to dream. Dream about one day putting a Surge uniform on. We always tell our players to dream, you know, and don't just settle just to be average. We want you to be great. And in the pursuit of greatness, you got to do great things. So when I came here, one of my goals was to make Calgary a better basketball community, to spread the word. And so my goal was to say, I want to change that. I want to change the culture to a basketball city. So now there is no reason for you not to focus 100% on your craft right now. All right, starting today, we have a good solid practice, and then we focus on what we have to do to compete down there in Edmonton this weekend. Coach, you got anything? Well, once I retired, I thought I was done with basketball, you know, and then a friend of mine talked to me and saying, you know, John, you know, why don't you come and help us out with this team? And I said, okay, you know, sure, I'll help you out. And when I took over the team, I was with the Junior Trojans. That was the first club team I was with. I said, what is my expectations? And he said to win every game. So I said, okay, so how much practice time do I get? He said, you got 1 practice a week. And I said, what? You know, you want me to do all this stuff and with 1 practice? He said, how much do you need? I said, I need 6 days a week. He said, 6 days? Are you kidding me? Yeah, I want to practice 6 days. So he wound up giving me 4 days. From there, I just tried to build a culture. Team first, going out there, commitment to excellence, and working hard for each other.
I hear you. Good, Nate. There you go. Good work.
But to pick one is to give back. It's to help somebody that's less fortunate than you. Without the people in my life when I was coming up as a young athlete, you know, supporting me and helping me, and giving me these opportunities, then I would have never reached the level that I'm at now.
Like those lessons that I learned as a kid, I installed in me through CYDC, right? Through John, those lessons are lessons that have allowed me to be here where I am today. With the Surge, and a successful team, in the CEBL, coaching with the UFC, playing Team Canada, all those little things, those experiences, those are tickets that were bought through the hard work and those lessons that I learned when I was at CYDC. When I moved to Calgary, I knew I wanted to play basketball. So what does a kid do? Google Calgary basketball. Once I got to those searches, I found community basketball. My friend ended up playing for CYDC and saying, what are you doing playing community? You need to come with us, the big boys, right? So I asked my mom, and it was a lot more than the community basketball. So I show up to practice, and we'll go through the drills, and John and the whole staff there, they see something in me.
Because see, I was David, coming from Gary, Indiana. That was a tough place, a violent place, and things like that. So we had limited opportunities. And then when we did get coaching and we did get mentors, we wanted to take advantage of that. So I saw that passion in David, where he wanted to get to a certain level. So you can see it in his eyes. He was driven. And David loved the game, so he wanted to play because that was his way out.
Brings it down. That's stolen by Jalal. Poirot takes it back. Kapinga inside. The spin with the left.
And for the first time in school history, the Calgary Dinos are national champs.
That's one of the big stories I think that people don't always know, right? How does this kid get in this situation? It wasn't just me, it wasn't just my parents. It was a lot of the CYDC helping me financially to be in that gym. Right? Someone has to pay for that. And John opened his hands to me and my family for us to join that club.
In basketball or in the gym, that was his safe haven. And we wanted to make sure that he had a safe place to play, not only David, but all our athletes, because we do have some kids that's underprivileged in our program, so we want to try to help them and encourage them and be a positive role model to say, hey, CYDC, this is a safe place for you. While you're here in this gym, you don't have to worry about nothing, And, that was one of my goals at CYDC, to make sure that we have that type of setting and that environment. That's one of the things I tell my players, give back and help somebody else. A kid may idolize you, right? But he'll never walk up to you and say, hey, you know what, you're my idol. What I want you to do is go over there to that young man that's sitting watching you, put your arm around him and say, hey, you know what can I do to help you? Hey, you're a good ball player. That little encouragement means a lot to a young athlete.
Because all you need is to just make sure that one kid makes it and understands and gets inspired to become who they're supposed to be, for another kid to also, and then there's a domino effect. And that's the legacy, right? That's the CYDC legacy that's the legacy I received from CYDC, and that's the legacy that I feel like the Surge is starting to build here in the city.